I'm Ben Herzon. My pronouns are he, him. And along with Reverend D. Evans, welcome to Eliot Chapel. Joining us this morning is Sharon Morgan. Sharon? Thank you, Sharon. Sharon is here for Sunday pastoral care if something is weighing on your heart. If you have young children staying with you in the service and they start getting restless, you are welcome to take them to the fellowship hall where there's a live feed of the service and they can run around all they want. Young families, there are snacks for the kids after service in Adams Hall, which is right through here. And you are welcome to take your younger children out to the playground. A special welcome to our guests. Thank you for being here. Our welcome person this morning is Sarah Fleming. There's Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah is here for anything you might need. There are guest forms at both entrances of the sanctuary and at the QR code on the screen so we can stay in touch. Please join us for coffee hour after the service and take a blue cup. So we'll be sure to look for you and welcome you. If you are a friend or a member, please look for the blue cups so that we can personally welcome our guests. Our online coffee hour is at 1:30. And now, I invite you, as you wish, to join in our welcome today by responding, "You are welcome here," at the end of each statement. If you are black, brown, white, indigenous, APIA, or whatever your origins, you are welcome here. If you are an immigrant, a refugee, or a person without documentation, you are welcome here. If you believe in God all of the time, some of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. If you have a disability, visible or invisible, or are neurodiverse, you are welcome here. If you have been here 100 times, or if you are just coming today, you are welcome here. If you want for nothing or struggle each day just to get by, you are welcome here. No matter whom you love or what your gender identity, you are welcome here. For this is a community of diversity, of love, and of justice, and it is good to be together. Let us enter into the spirit of worship.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. We gather here for Spirit's sake, to make sure our hearts and minds and souls are wide awake. We listen to the message and hold it deep inside. Let the music and inspiration touch each of our lives, 'cause we're all in this together, joined by our positive energy. Yes, we're all in this together, walking in each other's shoes, bonded by our common views. We all have gifts we want to share. We root for one another through triumph and despair, knowing we have partners who give us their support. This mutual encouragement all helps us stay on course, 'cause we're all in this together, joined by our positive energy. We're all in this together, walking in each other's shoes, bonded by our common views, Your light is so bright, there's enough to give away. Reach out and touch somebody, brighten up their day. It can't help but come around and touch you the same way, 'cause we're all in this together, joined by our positive energy. Yes, we're all in this together, walking in each other's shoes, bonded by our common views. Yes, we're all in this together, joined by our positive energy. Yes, we're all in this together, walking in each other's shoes, bonded by our common views. Thank you.
Our symbol is the flaming chalice, with the bowl representing the beloved community, and the flame, the spark of the divine that burns in each of us. This is a passage from One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This by Omar El-Akkad. The moral component of history, the most necessary component, is simply a single question asked over and over again. When it mattered, who sided with justice and who sided with power? What makes moments such as this one so dangerous, so clarifying, is that one way or another, everyone is forced to answer. And now, please rise and body your spirit for our opening hymn, number 1018, that's in the teal hymnal. Come and go with me, and remain standing for our congregational covenant. In universalism, covenants are the agreements we make for who we want to be as a people. Please join me in speaking our congregational covenant. As a free congregation, we promise to one another our mutual trust and support. To create beloved community, we promise to be kinder to each other than we have to be, to listen fully to each other with an open mind and heart, to speak responsibly and respectfully, to find ways to improve our church for all members and friends. Please be seated. Every week, we share our offertory with a community organization that reflects our values and commitment to service. This month, we are sharing our plate with Nurses for Newborns. Nurses for Newborns provides critical healthcare services through their nursing home visit program to infants and expecting mothers who experience a wide range of medical, economic, environmental, and social risks. As we prepare to give, we welcome the presence of children in the sanctuary. Together, young and old, we practice generosity, knowing our gifts create ripples of love and care in our community. Let us give joyfully. You're welcome to donate through the plate that will be going around through the sanctuary, or through the QR code on the screen and on your order of service, or you can text Eliot and shared plate, that's one word, plus the amount you wish to give to 73256. A link in the reply text will take you to our secure giving platform where you can complete your transaction. Let us be a generous people. Please join me in dedicating this offering to the work of the church, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action. We dedicate our lives and these our offerings.
It's time for our children to gather. To please come up if you wish and join us for our children's story. Right there is fine. Thank you. You can sit wherever you want to sit. Oh, what a lovely tiger. This morning, I want to tell you about two children, Lance and Lucy. And Lance and Lucy learned about social justice. Now, social justice is learning to make everything fair for everybody. Come on up. So we're going to talk about what Lance and Lucy learned. Yes. Oh, did you hear that bit of wisdom? If we are fair, we can make more friends. Now, one Saturday morning, Lance and Lucy heard their dad say, "I'm going to the warehouse to pick up our new patio furniture." And Lance said, "Can I go?" And then Lucy said, "Me too, I want to go." And Lucy really wanted to go. But they didn't even know what a warehouse was. So their dad kind of thought about it, and he goes, okay, you can come. But as they drove from their house, and they drove from the warehouse where they would pick up their patio furniture, both Lance and Lucy noticed that single-family homes, homes that just one family lived in, changed more and more to houses that had 2 and 3 families. There were apartments, okay? And they were very nice at first. But then as they went along, Lance and Lucy noticed that there were boards on some of the buildings so that the windows, nobody who lived in them could see out because there were boards over the buildings. And then there were places where the weeds grew real high. And so they were very unsettled by this. They didn't know what was going on. So Lucy says, why does it look so junky here? And then Lance said, Mom, when I don't clean my room, Mom says I'm lazy. Does your mom ever say you're lazy if you don't clean the room? Yeah, my mom did too. But their father explained, a lot of people would say the people who lived here are lazy, but usually they're very hardworking. You know what hardworking means? Yeah, what?
Working hard.
Yes, working hard. And so then he said, but they don't make a lot of money, the people who live here. So the landlords don't take care of the houses that the people live in. Lance said, but the apartments by us, and if you go around Kirkwood and you look at the apartments, they're very nice. So he wanted to know why the apartments in where they were now didn't look pretty. Why don't these landlords clean up their property? Well, said their dad, they don't have the money to move, and the people sometimes aren't even allowed to clean up the property. Well, just why don't they get better jobs so they can move? To get a good job, you have to have a lot of things happen. You have to have a computer or at least an iPad, okay? And you have to have a car to get to an interview for a job. Did you know it took all those things to get a job? A computer and a car? And then, if you don't have a good education, in other words, you don't pay attention in school, then you can't get a good job. So you have to make sure that you pay attention in school, said Lance's father. Lance said, oh, I bet their parents didn't make them take part of their birthday money and put it away for college. I don't know, said Lance's father, but you get the idea. It takes a lot of things to have justice, to be fair to all people. And these people didn't have a chance to get those things. That's not fair, said Lucy. It's not fair that these people don't live in nice houses. It's not fair that they don't have good jobs. That's true, said their dad. But you know what? We're here, and I have to get our furniture. But when we get home, we're going to think about how we can help make things fair for people. So you know what I want all of you to do? What do you think I want all of you to do next week? I want you all to think about how you can make things fair for everybody. And now you can go to your religious education classes.
We share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
We turn to the words of Rebecca Savage. We gather today with a sacred intention to declare that justice is our prayer. We affirm in covenant with the beloved community, our community, that this is possible. Not here, not quite yet. The seeds have been planted time and again, and we remember all those who went before us who made beloved community a dream that could be realized. Justice is our prayer. May our time of worship together continue to water the budding trees of diverse interdependence. May our time of worship give air and nourishment to the parts of our collective spirits, that they grow and thrive, and that embrace equity as a known way of being. Justice is our prayer. We affirm in covenant with our beloved community that it is possible. May it be so. Let us enter into a time of silence for the prayers and meditations of our hearts. Let us speak the names of those we would hold in care. Amen, and blessed be. Please remain seated for our meditative hymn, number 50, When Darkness Grows Near.
A reading adapted from the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is where we are. Where do we go from here? First, we must massively assert our dignity and worth. We must stand up amidst a system that still oppresses and develop an unassailable and majestic sense of values. What is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive, and that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. And this is what we must see as we move on.
I stand for love, stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you. You know our world is in great pain. She needs our loving care again. But there are those who fail to see what we have done and what we need. There is a cost for every act. Now there is no turning back. We burn a bridge, we bang a drum. It's time to rise, the time has come to stand for love, to stand for peace, to stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true, to stand for hope, to stand for you. And if you're thinking it's not urgent, that we've got more time to kill, if I'm not the one who will change things, then for heaven's sake, who will? So I will move, I will climb this mountain one step at a time. I won't be swayed, I will not stop until we've made it to the top, where we will stand for love and peace, we'll stand for joy and for release, for what is beautiful and true. We'll stand for hope, we'll stand for you, for what is beautiful and true. I stand for hope, I stand for you.
It's great when we have guest musicians that so express our values. I have two roles at Eliot. One is that I am an assistant minister. The other is that I am your affiliated community minister. I am not part of the staff in this role, and you don't compensate me for this role. However, because of my affiliation in this role, it requires me to do some things for this congregation. And one of them is a Sunday service. So today, well, first I should explain, my work as a community minister is for the Unitarian Universalist Advocacy Network of Illinois that organizes UU congregations in Illinois for social advocacy. So today, I'm speaking as a community minister. I'm not going to pull out my phone and scroll down my news feed explaining all the injustices going on. This is a very aware congregation, so I'm sure you know of all those injustices. Rather, what I want to share with you today are the lessons I learned from social justice leaders. How do we stand for love? It's going to be practical. I'm going to talk about what works and what I learned was effective. None of it I originated or did. These are lessons from social justice mentors. They may not be earth-shaking to you. You may know them all. But in times like we are living today, we need to sometimes hear the basics all over again to remind us in the midst of chaos, how do we stand up for love? After I talk about these lessons, I will then share why I personally think this information is so important to Unitarian Universalists. So let's start with what I learned. One of the first lessons I learned is that social justice can be divided into two broad categories: social action and social advocacy. Social action is hands-on. It is things like stocking the food pantry, handing out the food, going to a school, reading to a child, or helping them with the homework, or cleaning up a river, or making a meal, or helping a person get benefits. You get the idea. You are working directly with the person that is experiencing an injustice. Now, I've heard it said, oh, that is the difference between giving a person a fish to eat and teaching them to fish. No, teaching the person to fish is still social action. It is hands-on involvement. Now, the other broad category of social justice is social advocacy. Social advocacy is taking a systems approach to social justice. It can be finding out why an injustice exists. It can be helping to write a law to change the injustice. It can be organizing people to change the system, working with senators, representatives, local government officials, or businesses to address the injustice. This is a systems approach to injustice. Why is this distinction important? Usually, but not always, people who are social justice activists prefer one type of social justice as compared to the other. Before volunteering for anything, ask yourself, what type of social justice do I want to engage in? Do I like working directly with people? Or do I prefer to look at a system and change it? It's not that one is more important than the other. Both are needed. Most people who like working directly with people will be miserable working to change the system. And those who love changing the system, will be miserable working directly with people. When you volunteer, if you volunteer for the wrong thing, you will simply drop out. So know yourself and volunteer for what you like doing. And that's how we stand for love. The second lesson I learned from mentors is that social justice leaders need to be very clear if you are doing social action or social advocacy. Your committee should have a clear goal. Is your committee doing social action or social advocacy? A corollary to this is do not do a committee that forms both. They are very different work that attract different people, even though you may be working on the same injustice. For example, one committee may have a goal to volunteer to stand outside a clinic so those seeking reproductive health can safely enter the clinic. Another committee may have a goal of changing the laws to ensure that all people have the autonomy to decide their own reproductive health. That's social advocacy. Both are engaging in social justice work, but in different ways. Now, a related lesson is learn how to do one-to-ones. The purpose of a one-to-one is to find out what a person's social justice passion is. You want to know, do they like social action or social advocacy? Someone may think your committee is really a great idea, but their passion is somewhere else. So after you've gotten together with them in a one-to-one, if you discover your committee is not their passion, let them follow their passion. Don't try to recruit someone who will leave to follow their passion. And if their passion aligns with your committee, then you want to know whether they are a social action person or social advocacy and know if they will fit into your committee. Now, many people believe only social justice leaders need to know how to do one-to-ones, and there are trainings on how to do one-to-ones. I believe all of us who do social justice work should learn how to do one-to-ones. Because no matter what committee we're on, we need volunteers. By learning to do one-to-ones, you can effectively recruit people who will be happy on the very committee that you're on. You don't need a leader you don't need to be a leader of a committee to recruit people. Just make sure the people you recruit are a good fit for your committee. A common belief is if there is a good idea, people will follow the idea. But people don't follow the idea, they follow people. Have you ever joined a group that you were really interested in, and then felt you just didn't fit in with the people? We are all like that, including those of us who join social justice committees. No matter how good we think the idea is, if we don't fit in with the people, we leave. So as a leader, you can avoid having people leave your committees by learning to do one-to-ones. The person gets to know you, you get to know them, and if their passion fits your committee, then they will follow you right into your committee. Another social justice lesson I learned is the importance of numbers. When I was working in mental health, the union really pressured members to protest for fair wages. The administration did not want to give us a wage increase. If we did not show strength in numbers, it would have been 6 years without a wage increase. The protest was held in the Illinois State House that has a spiral staircase. We filled up every level of that staircase. The entire building was filled with union workers. They had to stop letting people in because of fire safety. So people then began circling outside of the building. Now you should know, to go to this protest, we all had to take a vacation day. No, we didn't just get a day off work. But there we were, filling the building, filling around the entire building. We got our raises, so numbers are important. Numbers are important in another way. For example, if you're going to protest outside, and I am emphasizing outside your senator's or representative's office, you want to get as many people as you can there, but you don't want to block the entrance. However, if you are going into your senator's, representative's, or a business leader's office, you do not want to overtake their office with people. Just think what it would be like if suddenly a bunch of people just entered your home. You would not be happy. Well, they're not happy when you do that to their office. It'll annoy them. Now you want to be listened to. So the rule I learned is no more than 5 people at one time and always have an appointment. So you have to know how to use numbers when you want large numbers and when you don't want so many large numbers. Another social justice lesson I learned is to remain civil, calm, and non-reactive. Civil, calm, and non-reactive. This is true even if you are doing an educational protest, as we do at Eliot on certain Tuesdays. If you are protesting an injustice any place, if you are meeting with government officials, corporate and business leaders, or the press, remain calm, civil, non-reactive. Swear words, crude gestures, name-calling, shouting back at protesters, protesting your protest are all totally unacceptable. If you want to learn how to do this, join them on Tuesdays. They're masters at it. Remaining civil, calm, and non-reactive are very important when meeting with government officials or business leaders. Remember, they have legions of staff that prepare statements for them. They may know something is a misrepresentation in these statements or even an outright lie. But you are not going to get them to listen to if you roll your eyes at their outrageous statement or stare off to the side. They say something and you go, that isn't going to get them to listen. Neither will 2 of you snickering at each other or making comments under your breath. Confronting them won't win the argument because they will simply come up with the many, many statements they have prepared. They may try to provoke you. So remember, the burden is on you to remain civil, calm, and non-reactive. How do you do that? Whether it is a protest or a meeting, have a clear message and stay on message. Know what you want and when you want it. State it positively and know your timeline. For example, suppose you're meeting with a rental corporation that has apartment buildings, and let's say they have leaky plumbing and don't have fire extinguishers. Telling them that is not telling them something that they don't know. They know the condition of their buildings. However, saying that you want all the plumbing fixed and the fire extinguishers installed in the next 30 days is clear. Another example, if you are involved in a food pantry, saying you are going to provide food for people is vague. Saying you are going to provide enough food for 50 families per week is clear. You know what you want and you know when you want it. Another lesson is your committee does not have to do everything. There are people in our community doing many great things. If they share our values, partner with them. Simply put, you don't have to start a food pantry. We can go and volunteer with their pantry. We don't have to start all over about reproductive rights. We can find an organization that does this. And we already have partners. Just ask some of our social justice leaders what our partners are and where you can volunteer. Now, I did an internship at Abraham Lincoln Unitarian Universalist Chapel in Springfield, Illinois. If you were to go there, their chapel is almost in a prairie. It's at the edge of the city. But as I worked there, I learned that almost everybody knew about Abraham Lincoln Unitarian Universalist congregation. And I wondered how that was, because you didn't drive by it like you drive by Eliot. So I was puzzled. So I started asking people, how did you know about our congregation? Oh, because of the shirts. Shirts? What shirts? Well, the shirts you guys all wear. Every place they go, they have their name emblazoned on it and information about where they are, particularly their website. So if they go to partner with Planned Parenthood, guess what? They wear their shirts. If they partner with PFLAG, they wear their shirts. When they volunteer at the school to read to children, they wear their shirts. When they volunteer for the housing community, they wear their shirts. It's almost impossible when there's any social justice event to go throughout that city and not find somebody with an Abraham Lincoln shirt. So I say from that I learned, advertise. We think of advertising as putting out an ad or putting out a sign, and that's great, but we can advertise our congregation all over the place when we partner and wear our shirts. So these are the lessons I learned. They're not fancy lessons or esoteric or hard to do, but I learned that they work. And the one thing I do want to emphasize is you have to know the difference between action and advocacy. Make sure you know what your committee is doing. Learn to do one-to-ones. Learn the importance of numbers. Remember, it's always our responsibility to remain civil, calm, and non-reactive. Have a clear message. Know what you want to do and when you want it. Partner with organizations already doing justice work, and wear your t-shirts when you work with your partners. So why are these lessons important to us as Unitarian Universalists? We have a hymn, Spirit of Life. That hymn is my theology. I believe we all share the same spirit of life. I don't call that spirit of life God. I call it the beloved mystery, because I don't know what it is. I can't find the answer to what it is in any of the massive amount of theology that I read. The closest I can come to was an answer we got in seminary. I went to Eden, which is in Webster Groves, and is a progressive Christian seminary. The first year, they deconstruct your theology. It's a nice way of saying they challenge everything you ever believed, and you think you no longer believe, but really deep down really do. They challenge it all. Then the second and third year, they help you build up what your beliefs are. They call it constructive theology. In the actual class of constructive theology, toward the end of the semester, one student was really frustrated with the professor. He demanded she define God. He pressed her obnoxiously and repeatedly. Finally, she said, if she must define God, she would say God is relationship. That was her total definition of God. I sat in that class as a UU, and immediately the hymn Spirit of Life came to mind. If God is relationship, we call upon the Spirit of Life to place compassion in our hearts. We are centered in love according to our UU covenant. Now, you don't have to believe all this, but I couldn't go forward in what I was saying without sharing with you what I believe. Our UU values that come out of love, one of them is interdependence. And it says, we honor the interdependent web of all existence with reverence for the great web of life, and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. If we are interdependent, and science shows that we are, then how can I live with injustice and do nothing? I don't know if there is a God as traditionally defined somewhere out there. There may be. But what I do know, at least for me, and again, this may not be true for you, is that there is a spirit of life in all of us that holds us in relationship. And that relationship is the interdependent web of existence that makes these lessons in social justice important, because it is those lessons that allow us to engage in love and to bring compassion to the world. And from love arises the value of justice. Our value of justice says we work to be a diverse, multicultural, beloved community where all thrive. While we are in an interdependent universe, it is very diverse, not only among humans, but among all creation. And we want to work for justice because we want everyone to thrive. So I honor the spirit of life in you and the spirit of life in me, and I wish that all in our beloved community will thrive. So may it be. Please rise in body and spirit for our closing hymn, 1024, where the Spirit of Life says do, and remain standing for the closing of the service. We are going to have a book signing. If you are do not want to stay for the book signing, please immediately exit to Adams Hall. Those of you who want to stay, come to the front and sit quietly. So, thank you. What do you mean by book signing? Oh, Lynn just reminded me, what do we mean by a book signing? A book signing is when we officially welcome new members into our congregation.
Let us extinguish a chalice and share our benediction. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We will keep a place for you wherever you may go. We'll sustain this home of faith and love you've come to know. Go in peace, bring hope to hearts that yearn. We will keep a place for you till you return.
Spirit of life hold you, may love bless you, and may joy find a place in your days. Go in peace.